survive.
With each day passing, the challenges are getting tougher, and the human resources and abilities are intensely tested.
Our next challenge requires explosive strength from all teams, but it also includes the fact you need to keep your nerve in order to complete this trek.
Today's first stage is a 4-kilometre cross-country run, which involves ferrying around heavy sandbags and a stretcher.
We had to run on the beach towards the gurney and the stretcher. And it's a Bali beach. There's boats everywhere, and everyone has their boats tied up to the shore. So you're hopping over the ropes. You're trying not to trip on them, meanwhile trying to dodge all the big rocks and dogs running around. And it was real life. It was pretty cool.
After that, they will have to run roughly a kilometre to collect some old friends.
And guess what? Sandbags again, my favourite. Pick up the sandbags, bring them back, and put them on the stretcher.
Then it's just a matter of going in the same direction one more time, but now with a load of approximately 125 kilograms on their shoulders. Easy does it, but there is of course a catch.
What's been different in all the other challenges up until this one is you're now going against a team.
Focus is everything.
A great challenge, great. Like, they're thinking up tricky stuff.
Because Australia finished the previous challenge last, they will have to go first, and by themselves. But this does not affect the Aussies' enthusiasm at all.
A mixture of brains, brawn and just sheer guts. As Australians, we're known for never giving up and giving it our best shot.
But there is one thing Team Australia should be worried about, and that's Adam. He still hasn't recovered from his muscle injury, and rules state that the challenge has to be completed by all 6 members.
Adam's leg, hopefully in a couple of days, he'll be back to full speed. He can't overextend himself, otherwise he's going to really hurt himself. You know, he won't be able to compete anymore. So at the moment, we're not 100%, but we're still in the game.
Rules don't dictate that everybody needs to be involved in picking up the sandbags. And that creates a great opportunity for Adam to stay behind and rest, and also test the stretcher.
So I must finish with the team. As long as the sandbags get back in a placed on, and this goes back to the sandbags, no worries.
With the team complete again, Adam starts adding huge value to the team. So far, so good. Now it's just a kilometre to the turning point with the 125-kilo stretcher on their shoulders.
That was an incredible race. It was a lot of weight to carry, and we did push ourselves to the end.
At the halfway point, the sandbags can be dropped. From here, it's straight back to the finish, with the stretcher, of course. Just a few metres more, and Australia have set the first time. Adam did survive this challenge, but he is not the only one that's in serious pain.
Robin was going really hard. She wanted to spew on the run. Like, it was really tough, and she was giving it everything. She was gutted afterwards.
What's the biggest problem with a run like this?
Too short.
Yeah.
Too short.
Next up, the current leaders of the competition, South Africa and the USA.
We were against South Africa, so we had good motivation there, good push. We said, okay, we got this. Whereas if we ran by ourselves, we wouldn't have had the drive and the competitiveness to say, okay, keep going. We were like, we got to beat these guys.
Going head-to-head transforms this challenge into a real grudge match.
Make sure we're in front. Make sure we're in front of the USA.
Little Vicky was gone. We just could not keep up with him. He's like a little Energizer bunny. He was gone.
After watching Adam stay behind for Team Australia, both teams decide to adapt their tactics. Only the fastest runners run off into the jungle to retrieve the bags, while the rest of the team stay behind and prepare for the next stage.
The road's narrow. As long as we get back to the gurney with the sandbags before USA and we can get in front of them, there's not much space for them to pass.
We were right on their heels. Like, we did quite well there.
Both teams arrive with the sandbags almost at the same time, so it'll all come down to the last 2-kilometre stretcher race.
This is a must-win situation. There's a lot of pride, there's a lot of passion between both of these teams, so it looks like at the minute, yep, South Africa are just in front.
Team South Africa's strategy was clearly to get out in front, and with the road about to bottleneck, it will be very difficult for Team USA to get past them.
When we dropped the sandbags off, we could have been jerks, boxed them in, took our sandbags off and not let them pass us, but we're too nice.
But this clearly cost them precious time. And on the other hand, the South African train seems to be running out of steam.
South Africa just heads out just a hair in front of us. If it was a little bit longer, we would have passed them.
But this grudge match goes to South Africa.
If they were in front of us, I don't think we would have been able to pass them. I don't know if we would have had the gas to pass them.
We realized that South Africa, they're human too. Terrence, the big guy, he's lying on his back on the stretcher and couldn't, he had a hard time breathing there. He struggled, so we're like, all right, we got this. So at the beginning and before this, we were kind of intimidated, a little nervous and scared of them, and they're human too, and everyone has their breaking point, and we're just going to keep driving forward and keep pushing hard.
Bit heavier than I thought it would be, eh? I thought a couple of pieces of bamboo can't be that tough.
The last two teams to face each other are Canada and Belgium.
The country we had to challenge was Canada. Big guys. We have one guy with the injury, so it's running with the injured ankle. I hope it will become good.
And they're off. Eva is an ace runner and immediately takes the lead. But the first part of the beach is not only about running, it's also about focus.
Then I fall. I was immediately pumped.
She fell down, but she was still faster than all of us. Falls down right at the start and still burns ahead. That girl can run.
Despite her fall, Eva manages to enter the main road in second place, right behind Paul of Team Canada.
Came to the stretcher, we started almost equal.
Belgium and Canada obviously paid attention to the previous race.
We saw one of the other teams going and how they were holding on to it. They either had it kind of going across their backs or they were holding on to it by their shoulders. And it was JJ on our team that said, well, if we rotate it, then we can rest it on our shoulders. It would be easier.
They jumped in front of us.
Rotated our stretcher so that we controlled the pace and they wouldn't be able to go around us.
The Canadians performed their newfound tactics to perfection.
They wouldn't have caught up to us anyways.
Halfway through the course, Team Belgium leapfrogged Canada. But unfortunately for Belgium, it doesn't last long.
I'm sure they were a little upset by our strategy, but that's what competition's about. Work smarter, not harder.
The phrase, nice guys finish last, the Belgians are learning it the hard way.
It's all about tactics, and now we are thinking also in the team, we have to be a little bit more rough, I think. So now we were gonna do it a little bit rougher.
Even though they competed head-to-head, it's the clock that determines the winner of this challenge. So will it be the lone wolf of Australia, the fiercely competitive South Africans, or the resurgent Team Canada?
Number 3, Canada.
That's my favorite event. We had a lot of fun with it.
Second place goes to
USA.
Get in!
And again, the team to beat, South Africa.
We're really here to win every single event.
The same two teams occupy the first and second position, with South Africa continuing its undefeated run, but USA are impressively closing the gap. Team Canada put in its best performance of the week, followed by Team Belgium. But for the second challenge in a row, Australia finished last.
We are so close to each other. We can be jumping 2-3 places in the front if we want.
They're definitely not unbeatable. Every team has their weaknesses. Hopefully we'll find out before the finals.
Proud of you. Get out of 5th? Hell yeah. Yeah. Day 2, we got to 2nd place. We'll get back there again.
But this day is far from over, and everything can change in a heartbeat.